today's video, I'm going to share with you a couple of Valentine treats, but they're treats that can be any time of the year, really. The first one is a Chex mix, like a sweet, like almost like a puppy chow recipe that I just found online. I Googled it and it sounded good to me, so I thought I would give it a try. And I've got it kind of organized here because you have to work kind of quick with this kind of stuff. So in the recipe called for 9 cups of rice Chex, which basically is an entire, 12-ounce box. A 12-ounce box of Chex mix equals about 9 cups. It might be just a little tiny bit over that, but I just threw it in there just to use it all up. So that's in a bowl ready. And then in this bowl, I have 4 tablespoons of butter, and I use the Country Crock plant butter because of Olivia and my dairy issue, and it's dairy free. And then to this microwave safe bowl, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of peanut butter, and I sprayed the cup with some cooking spray, and it helps the peanut butter come out easier out of the cup. And then the last ingredient you're going to add to this bowl is 1 cup of white chocolate chips or vanilla chips. And I use this Pashka, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, white baking chips because it is dairy free. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 1 cup of these. There's just a little bit left in the bag, but I won't throw those in because there's probably a couple tablespoons extra. Just save those for something else. So then what you do is you microwave this until the chocolate chips or the vanilla chips are melted and the peanut butter and the butter are all blended together. So you microwave it for like 15 seconds and stir it, and you just keep doing that till everything is well combined. I'll bring you back when this is all melted. All right, it took about 1 minute and 40 seconds for it to get all melted and mixed together. And then what you do is you just pour it over the cereal, and then you just stir it and stir it and stir it till everything is completely coated. Alright, that is pretty evenly coated. So the next step is you want to take a gallon zip bag and you want to put 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar in this Ziploc bag. So there's 1/3 of a cup. And then you're going to take about half of this mixture. I'm going to have to get a different scoop and put it in here, and then you shake it up till everything's evenly coated. So then I put out here 2 pieces of parchment paper. It says wax paper, but I use parchment paper. And you're going to want to spread this mixture evenly on the parchment paper so that it will dry. Let me get my spoon. The thinner you spread it out on the paper, the quicker it will dry. So then to the other half, you're going to add 4 tablespoons of the sprinkles. and half a cup of the M&Ms. And remember, I use the Unreal kind because Olivia and I can't do dairy. And then you just mix this and blend it really, really well. Everything is nice and coated. This is the brand of M&Ms, and these, the only kind that Kroger had were the peanut ones, which is fine because there's peanut butter in this. And there's just a few left in the bag, so I think I'm just gonna give Olivia a couple to eat, and I'll eat a couple, and I'll throw the rest in. And then, just like the other kind, or the other half, you're gonna pour it out on parchment. And spread it out to dry. And I think it needs a little bit more sprinkles. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit more on top. Okay, so then what you do is you let this dry, and once both halves are dried out, then you mix them together in a bowl. So when these are ready, all right, so it's been about an hour. This is very dry, and this is still just a little bit sticky, but I'm ready to get this project done, and so I can move on to the next one. So I just have my bowl that I had it in earlier. There's no reason to mess up another bowl. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up the parchment and dump it in. And then you pick up this one. Dump it in. And then you just mix it all together. And like I said, it's still a little bit sticky. I probably could have let it set for a little longer, but it's not that big of a deal. We're not taking it anywhere or giving it away as a gift to anybody. And it's pretty dry. And it'll continue to dry in the bowl. But that's all there is to it. It's like a Valentine puppy chow, only using white chocolate instead of dark chocolate. The second treat I'm going to make today, I'm going to make some of these Sunburst lemon bars, and as you can tell by the page, these are a well-loved recipe. There's a picture. Yeah, I have these lemons I need to use up, and these bars freeze really well. So what I'll probably do is freeze half of them for a later time, and then just have half a pan for now, because it makes a 9 by 13 pan. So for the base, you need 2 cups of flour, a half a cup of powdered sugar, and 1 cup of butter or margarine softened. I've got my country crock here softened, and I'm going to go ahead and get that base mixed up, and you preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and you bake the base for 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to get that done now. So in this bowl I have the ingredients for the filling. So while the base is baking, you make the filling. And in this bowl I have 4 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, and I use organic sugar, that's why it's kind of brown, 1/4 of a cup of flour, and 1 teaspoon baking powder. So you blend this up really, really well. And when it's all completely blended up, then you add in 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. I also have in this bowl the zest of 1 lemon. And 1 lemon, 1 average size lemon, makes almost exactly 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. So as soon as the base comes out of the oven, you pour this filling onto the warm base, and then you put it back in the oven at 350 degrees for another 25 to 30 minutes, or until the top is light golden brown. So when the base is out of the oven and I'm ready to add this filling to it, I'll bring you back. It's hot out of the oven. I'll give this filling a quick whisk to make sure everything is well combined. Alright, so back in the oven it goes for another 25 to 30 minutes. Well, this was almost a fail. I had set my timer, and obviously I did not hear the timer go off, and I almost burned it up. It's not burnt, and it's not a disaster, but if you make this recipe, don't let it get this dark. It only needs to be about that dark. And it's pretty hard around the edges, but trust me, it's lemon. It's gonna taste delicious no matter what. So this has been out of the oven for about an hour. You need to wait at least an hour or even longer. But the final step is to make a frosting for it. And it's basically more like a glaze than anything else. In this bowl, I have 1 cup of powdered sugar, and to that you need to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now, I could juice another lemon, but I know I'm not going to need all of the juice from a whole lemon. So I just got some bottled lemon juice here, and I'm going to go ahead and just add 2 tablespoons to start with, and mix it up, and then if it needs more, I will add more. Alright, now you just let this completely finish cooling all the way. The frosting will kind of harden, and then you cut it into bars. When it's ready to cut, I'll bring you back and we will show you what it looks like when they're cut. Alright, here it is, all done. I've made this recipe many times before, so I know it is delicious. This one didn't turn out quite as good as they have in the past, simply because I cooked it a little too long. But if you love lemon, you will love this recipe. And here's the Puppy Chow Chex mix. It's really good. I've never made this recipe before, but Olivia and I both agreed that it would be better if it had a little bit of a salty element to it, kind of getting that sweet salty thing going on, because it is so sweet. It's nice, would be nice to have something salty in it to kind of cut the sweetness. The only thing I had that was salty were some peanuts. So I threw some peanuts in there, and it did make a big difference. But Olivia and I both agree that little twist pretzels or pretzel sticks, little pretzel, the little ones, would be excellent in this. So if I make it again, I will definitely add pretzels to it, and I would recommend that you do that as well if you like that sweet salty combination. All right, friends, this is my two little treats for Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, the recipes will be in the description box below, and I highly recommend that you give either one or both of these recipes a try. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. And thanks so much for watching, friends. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.